Good evening and welcome to the UBC News Tonight, the 10 o'clock edition with me, Wadulo Arnold Mark. It's going to be an hours-long bulletin, so do sit tight. Let's give you the news in detail. And to start off, it's a somber mood in Toro Kingdom and Uganda in general following the death of the King of Toro, the King Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidi IV. His death was announced by the Right Honorable Armstrong Romire Akiki, the Prime Minister of Toro Kingdom. In Fort Portal City at Karuzika Palace, tears, sorrow and grief manifest.
The head of the royal clan Omasuga, Charles Kamurasi, made a cultural announcement and declared 9 days of mourning as a cultural ritual that follows the king's demise.
Ebiro mwenda ntukorentekaniza ko turasendekereza umukama wetu.
Omasuga also directed the Basita clan members who lead the cultural norms, culturally known as Abajaguzi, to climb a cultural hill Akashwa and make an alarm, announcing the death of the king to the entire Toro land. The Abajaguzi, dressed in backcloth and kanzus, made an alarm and culturally announced the king's death. This also perform other private rituals inside the palace that follows the king's death, including turning the royal drum upside down. Culturally, when a king dies, no funeral fire is lit like in a normal tradition. Omasuga asked the people of Toro to remain united and protect the glory of Toro Kingdom.
Ningoanza kumanyisha mukuru wihanga officially ukutuza kwa mukama wa Toro.
The people of Toro expressed their grief, highlighting the inspirational leadership of their young and energetic king who is no more.
Iguru libundaire kandi Toro amata gatkire. Toro kira wasaidio mkama Dr. Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Kidi wakana omukama wa Toro ahiro mukono mungabo kandi mbeto kubaliza Toro tubule businge kandi Toro mahana tuli mchiobobo okutaga nembe sasa kwa mkama wetu kagahura gaisana ngokusandara falita kumanya ngo mugatuchiaho nambera tuli baitu nituguma nk'abatoro tuguma nk'abanyorobo mukama tuguma nk'amagatwa tuguma nk'enganda za Toro abokuba ikirukiro bukuru tuhulire kandi ntukiriza hati amakuru agaruka aganya kuraga abroho ngo mukama wetu atusigire ngo mugwetu wawe akashumye bukaraika ko kumukuru wange mu byemerwa nengeso umunyoroze bidayo yatugambira amakuru ago ntujagamanya mbutongoli bayitukanda hati wakasumi kanu ebiro mwenda omuguta bamukama bito bugaraheka mu kikaro kinu njagaragara nkebiro mwenda nkemero nengeso ya Toro kweri.
Consultation meetings are undergoing following the death of the Omukama of Toro Kingdom, His Majesty Oyo Nyimba Kabamba. Henry Basaliza Motegeki, the kingdom of the kingdom. Motegeki, the kingdom says that the kingdom is yet to harmonize with the central government to ensure a befitting burial according to the cultural tradition of Toro Kingdom.
By press time, journalists had not yet been allowed access to the Buziga Palace despite visible signs of the preparations for the vigil of the former Omukama of Toro. What we have been reliably informed is that Toro Kingdom and the central government are in talks to agree on how the funeral arrangements should proceed.
Preparations are underway at the palace here. Other preparations are also underway in Fort Portal. So everything is moving on smoothly. So we expect any time from now, communication from the Right Honorable Prime Minister to talk to the nation and inform the nation on the preparations, how far they have gone and the way forward.
When you peep through, different service providers are seen setting up. As mourners, most of them family members, continue to flock the area. Former Toro King, His Majesty Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru, died at the age of 34. He was once celebrated as the youngest king in the world. His death, as announced by the Toro Prime Minister Calvin Romire Akiki, shocked the nation at large.
That those who have gone ahead of us, like Amoti, will catch up with Jesus and they'll be caught up in the same situation, and those of us who will be here will go later. In other words, he has gone ahead of us and he is already in the front space of the queue to heaven. So for this one, he says, comfort one another with
He was young as a monarch, and he carried the heavy weight of responsibility. And he carried that responsibility with grace and a lot of dignity. He was an inspiration to many, many young leaders in Toro, in Uganda, and world over. He was a torchbearer. So in this difficult moment, we stand with the people of Toro.
However, as these activities continue in Kampala, Buziga Palace, similar activities are ongoing in Fort Portal City, where the Karuzika Palace is situated.
We have to mourn by the fireside. We have to attend the vigil, and the vigil will take 9 days. So likewise, we are supposed, culture dictates that we stay here at the vigil for 9 days until we bury our loved king. That will be at Karambi Royal Tombs, where his father and his grandfathers were laid.
Margaret Muhanga, the Minister of State for Urban Development, narrates how the kingdom has lost a unifier and a great pillar to the development of Toro Kingdom.
It is too sad for Amoti to go at only age 34. Amoti, first of all, was my cousin. My mother grew up here in the palace. She came here when she was only 5 years. Those are the memories we have. She left when she was getting married to my dad. So we have memories that this was the home of my mom. She grew up with his dad, who was her cousin. And even when these children were born, we all bonded.
As the tradition dictates, for 9 days of mourning, the kingdom is yet to come out with a full program.
Normally the rituals after the death, passing on of the king, we have to observe 9 days of mourning. Those are official mourning days. And during these days, during the 9 days, there are rituals that we have to follow. Like in any other normal death, because we don't have to go into these unnecessary privileges.
We are going to plant 1 million trees, but we want to call upon the people in other counties because this is one county for Portal City. But there are counties like Burasha, Bunyangabu, Kivale County, Kitagwenda County, Bunyangabu County, all those Kiaka County, we are asking them to plant as many trees as they can.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Buganda Kingdom joins the rest of the monarchs to mourn the demise of the Omukama of Toro Kingdom, Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru IV. Buganda Kingdom says that they have been partners with Toro Kingdom since 1830. Katikiro Peter Maiga has urged the people of Toro to stay united and patiently wait for the clear guidance from Toro, the kingdom authorities, on the next prince to reign the monarch. More details in his statement.
King Oyo
The news of the passing King Oyo of Toro has been received with shock and extreme sadness. Yesterday evening I had an interaction with Muhikirwa of Toro, Oichitiwa Calvin Armstrong Romire. And shortly after our interaction, he informed me about the passing of the Omukama. I immediately informed Sabasaja Kabaka, who was extremely saddened and shocked by the passing of his young brother. As it may be known, the Kingdom of Toro and the Kingdom of Buganda have been moving together since the formation of the Kingdom of Toro in the 1830s. Members of the royal family of Toro have been taken care of by the different kings of Buganda and vice versa. And indeed, when King Oyo assumed the throne at the tender age of 3, the Kabaka of Uganda, Sabasaja Arnold Wadulo, was named one of the guardians. We've always worked together, we've always planned together, all in the interest of the people of the two kingdoms. The demise of King Oyo is a big loss to the people of Toro, because he has been having many plans for the sustenance of Toro heritage and for the well-being of the Toro people. But it's a great loss to Uganda too. We join the people of Toro, we join members of the royal family of Toro, and indeed we join all Ugandans in expressing our sadness upon the sudden passing of Omukama Oyo. We urge the people of Toro to stay united as we all wait for the following the ceremonies, the rituals that will be performed following the demise of the Omukama. May the good Lord receive the soul of His Majesty Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru IV, Sabasaja Kabaka Wangala.
The Paramount Chief of Lango Cultural Institution, Dr. Engineer Moses Michael Adongo Okune, has condoled with the Kingdom of Bunyoro Kingdom following the death of the king, Oyo Nyimba Iguru. The Paramount Chief says that Lango and Bunyoro have enjoyed a cordial relationship and have conveyed his heartfelt condolences to the people of Bunyoro and the country.
The paramount chief was speaking at a council meeting of Lango clan leaders where the region's development agenda took center stage. The council also received 2 key frameworks, including their Take Care Cooperation Charter, aimed at strengthening clan unity, dialogue, reconciliation and good governance, while the second focuses on revenue generation and institutional sustainability, seeking to diversify income, build the institution's asset base and strengthen its financial sustainability.
The office Operation Wealth Creation, Masale, Lango Economic Development Plan.
Officials from the Office of the Operation Wealth Creation, led by Strategic and Policy Advisor David Pulkol, challenged Lango to unite its 175 clans and harness its economic potential.
The industries don't have enough raw material. The land is there to grow this. So what's the problem? That's one thing which is in LEDEP. Okay, how to tackle that.
Pulkol says Lao must move away from subsistence farming and position itself as an economic engine for the wider region.
For Karamoja, it needs 15 trillion to bring it to this level. For you, even just 1.13 trillion is enough to take you to another level. We think seriously. If you can put a big dam in River Moroto, you can irrigate over 7,000, something like that, hectares of land. That's what we have designed here.
At least 100 projects have been identified under the development strategy, while Lango's economic development plan is expected to provide a blueprint for engagement with the government.
You in judiciary will be having very little work to do.
The meeting also considered cultural governance, revenue mobilization and alternative justice system, with the leaders seeking greater recognition of traditional mediation. Ediulwa, UBC News.
For nearly 3 decades, King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidis IV stood at the center of Toro's cultural life, guiding the kingdom through a period of revival and transformation. Crowned at just 3 years old in 1995, King Oyo grew into a monarch who combined tradition with a strong commitment to education, youth empowerment, health, and environmental conservation. His passing marks the end of a remarkable chapter in the history of the Toro Kingdom.
King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidi IV has been remembered for nearly 31 years at the helm of the Toro Kingdom, a period that combined cultural preservation with advocacy for social and economic development. In 1995, at the age of 3, Prince Oyo was crowned the 27th Omukama of Toro, becoming one of the world's youngest monarchs. His coronation came during the restoration of Uganda's traditional institutions, providing a platform for Toro to revive its cultural identity and royal traditions. Over the years, King Oyo maintained cordial relations with the central government, while the kingdom pursued programs aimed at strengthening culture and improving the welfare of its people.
So agriculture is the main sort of income that, most people from the kingdom get, because there's not much infrastructure.
Right.
Most of the lands there are farmlands. So people are growing all types of different crops, or rearing different types of livestock. So the model farm is to help basically majority of the farmers who are the small scale farmers. So it's what we call a 1 acre model farm. So you have, your vegetables, you have your fruits, we have a couple of fish ponds, we're doing poultry, and then we have the local cattle. That's basically for culture and heritage,
right,
to remind our people before the dairy cows came in, these are what we used. This is the specific breed we used in the olden days.
His influence extended beyond cultural leadership, particularly in advocating for young people. In 2016, he was designated champion for HIV and AIDS among young people in Eastern and Southern Africa, using his position to promote HIV prevention and support global efforts to end AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. During an HIV advocacy engagement in Fort Portal, in the presence of UNAIDS Regional Director for Eastern and Southern Africa, Sheila Toll, King Oyo called for greater involvement of men in HIV prevention, particularly in protecting mothers and children from HIV. He also supported initiatives promoting children's rights and protection, including partnerships with organizations such as World Vision. Education was another area of focus, with the King advocating for better learning opportunities. He also promoted Toro's cultural heritage and tourism potential, recognizing them as important drivers of community development.
We should protect those corridors, because if we wipe out those corridors, the animals will not be able to move from one park to another park. If you look at Serengeti National Park in Tanzania and Masai Mara, the two governments aligned those parks together because they border one another. So now you have an annual migration of about 1.2 million wildebeests that move annually from Masai Mara to Serengeti, and then from Serengeti back to Masai Mara. And that creates an influx of herbivores that also help the population of the predators such as lions, hyenas, leopards, cheetahs, and African wild dogs. So that boosts the tourism in those countries.
His development agenda further extended to environmental conservation, supporting efforts to protect forests, wildlife, and other natural resources in western Uganda. For his subjects, King Oyo became more than a custodian of tradition.
I guess it was a very short program inside there. And
his reign connected Toro's rich cultural heritage with contemporary issues affecting East people, particularly young people. From a young monarch entrusted with an ancient institution, King Oyo leaves behind a legacy of cultural revival, youth advocacy, and a kingdom seeking to balance tradition and development. Mutonyi Hilda, UBC.
Hello!
Mami!
Wanje sabo
Ugamotia. Oina kachi. Ha. Kagulini zitekako. Teka kagulini. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put in more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial star 165 star 5 hash to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way, to move our people our goods, our ideas, across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda. La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Welcome back. And now in the world of business, the Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, has held another hectic day with Uganda Airlines over the mismanagement of funds and the grounding of aircraft 5X, and P that reduced the effective availability of the CRJ-900 fleet, which increased flight disruptions. The officials, led by the Chief Executive Officer, Guillaume Weck, informed the committee that the delay in restoring the CRJ-900 fleet was partly attributed to the challenges in sourcing spare parts following the termination of the supply contract by the supplier.
The Uganda Airlines audit report for the financial year ended 30th June 2025 observes that the entity has accumulated increased arrears close to 64 billion. While appearing before the Parliamentary Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to answer audit queries, the committee, upon scrutinizing the entity, discovered how Uganda Airlines made a loss of $103 million in cash transactions at the entity's Juba office. This raised concerns in the committee, where committee members demanded for cash transactions from officials.
The airline has got a sales monitoring tool. It's an automated system referred to as the Amadeus sales tool, and its role basically is to perform a continuous monitoring in case there are any deviations within some set parameters.
The report also indicates how one of the CRJ-900 aircraft is not in operation. However, the airline CEO, Girima Wake, explained to the committee what led to this.
But it had, at that time, when it was grounded for actuated, the engine had only 5 flights. It only allowed 5 flights. And after 5 flights, it was grounded again because the engine time was over. That engine was sent to the States for repair. It is the one that is on the way coming back.
The committee interested itself in finding out why the supplier of the CRJ-900 spare parts terminated the agreement.
The only hope that we have now is to go back to Lufthansa Technique. Lufthansa Technique have these engines. They were maintaining this airplane for us because we did not pay them regularly on their dues. They have cancelled every arrangement with Uganda Airlines.
The committee also discovered how the entity's former chief executive officer's signature is still being used on some documents.
Your documents you are presenting, you are indicating her as a principal signatory.
But automatically, what happens is when a person vacates a position, that signatory, immediately the banks will be informed. This is what all organizations do. But we can update that.
Issues to do with staff recruitment and dismissal were also raised.
Did you dismiss staff? How many? What is their fate? Did you follow procedures?
Some of them have been accused of misappropriation and they want to come back. And they are saying misappropriation because I was not so-and-so's friend, I'm not going to entertain that now. My duty is to really get clean people and run the airline.
The entity was tasked to provide additional responses to the audit findings for conclusive reports. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
The Minister of Water and Environment, General Kahinda Otafire, has defended the Managing Director of National Water and Sewage Corporation, Dr. Silva Mugisha, amid allegation of corruption and nepotism. This was during his familiarization visit to the corporation, his first since his reappointment to the docket 20 years later.
In May 2026, a wave of allegations circulated online accusing National Water and Sewage Corporation Managing Director Dr. Silva Mugisha of corruption and nepotism, among others. While Dr. Mugisha dismissed these claims as a politically motivated smear campaign aimed at forcing him out of office, on Thursday he publicly sought the protection of the line minister.
We are people who have their own things. Recently, I think you saw them writing around, and it can be quite engaging because you spend now time on useless things instead of spending time on productive things of the corporation. My assurance to you, Honourable Minister, on behalf of management, we will try to do our work well. We try to do our work well. We just have that problem of people who are looking for their own personal things, and that's how they disturb us.
However, the minister's response was more of a moral boost than a condemnation.
Don't touch that man. Nobody should touch that man. That man is a repository of knowledge. That engineer here. There are things he can do, most of you can't do. Chairman, keep those who have added value. Get rid of those who have reached retirement age like the Otafiris. Those who are complaining, the man is too old. Do you have his training? Have you repressed his training? There are things he can do that most of us can't do, and I know. So when a chairman retain those who add value to the working of the corporation and get rid of the dead wood.
Earlier, Dr. Mugisha briefed the minister about the corporation's ambitious plan to grow its footprint nationwide, solarize its systems, and embark on locally manufacturing its inputs to cut operational costs.
We have Magadi, that rock salt we have in Kasese. That salt can potentially lead into soda ash for us because we are importing soda ash. But we have a raw material here. So we hope we can work with you to see how this can be manufactured from here. We import polymers. Polymers can potentially be manufactured here. We can import some raw materials and manufacture them here.
Minister Otafire's engagement with the management and the staff of National Water and Sewage Corporation is part of his familiarization tour of agencies under the Ministry of Water and Environment.
Our work should be to give safe, clean water, adequate, clean, convenient water, and cheap water to every Ugandan.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Farmers in Serere district are facing challenges in bracing the growth of indigenous seeds, particularly sorghum, due to weather dynamics and market access. Farmers in the district want the government to support them with pest management, affordable irrigation equipment, and improved market access.
Edede, a notable crop in Teso with a short gestation period and pest resistant, is mostly grown for alcohol brewing and porridge making. Caroline Apolot, one of the facilitators for farmers in Chere sub-county, shared farmers' current struggles with harvests after the introduction of Edede sorghum species in 2024.
One challenge is prolonged sunshine. Is there then pests and diseases during that size of booting stage, and when it's going towards flowering, you find that there is a disease called sorghum smut. It always disturbs us a lot, and this leaf roller pest, you find that the heart of the plant is just eaten. You find that the prices are not stable, making it worse. It even drops to 500 shillings.
Most farmers in the district who received the skill of growing this sorghum have requested government for support on pest management, affordable irrigation, and improved market access.
So we want the government to help us, to assist us with the irrigation first, market, then thirdly, place where we can even clean sorghum.
If the drought is so much, it cannot germinate very well.
Josephine Hilda Nansubuga, the Business Development Officer at ESAF Uganda, says farmers in Serere have gained necessary skills to revive indigenous seeds through the Rooted in Diversity project.
The Rooted in Diversity project is a 5-year project, and we are in the 3rd year of implementation. Under the diversity, we are looking at the different local food plants. Here in Serere, they are being affected so much by the climate change, and with the diversity, they can at least be able to adapt to the climate change. Also realize that with the climate change, it also comes with other problems, one of them being the increased infestation of pests. And with this, we've been able to support them with the local technologies to come up with the pesticides that they can use to cap down these infestations. ESAF Uganda has a plan and is already working with the different partners to see that these farmers have access to profitable market.
The project, funded by the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, is spearheaded by a consortium that brings together the Participatory Ecological Land Use Management, ESAF Uganda, Oxfam Novib, and CIRAD.
Players in the life assurance sector are appealing to the government to make it compulsory for every migrant worker to subscribe to the Uganda Migrant Workers Insurance Scheme. The call was made as the family of a migrant worker who died in Dubai received 30 million shillings in compensation.
It was a bittersweet moment for the family of the late Issa Sadiki Bakole as they received a check of 30 million shillings as compensation for the loss of their kin. Bakole died in December last year, barely a month after securing employment in Dubai.
We received information from other brothers and colleagues who are in Dubai. They gave us information. Shortly, we started coordinating how to repatriate the body. It wasn't an easy thing on our side because as per now in the family we have completely nothing, and we never knew that the body could reach us.
Bakole was one of the over 780,000 Ugandans who live and work abroad across Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and North America. Unlike many, Bakole had subscribed to the Uganda Migrant Workers Insurance Scheme by paying a premium of 250,000 shillings only.
They promised the 5 million for burial arrangement, which came. They promised the 30 million, which we also got. They promised to bring the body up to Entebbe. Two of us were there. We received the body together with the insurance company. And they did not even stop there. They got the funeral service to transport this body up to Arua, where the burial was done.
Despite the benefits, uptake remains low. Records show that only 4,500 migrant workers are currently insured. NIC Life Assurance Chief Executive Officer Anthony Lubandi attributes the low uptake to lack of information.
Please take the pictures, write the stories as they are. When our Ugandans get to read and hear from us, they definitely will get interested. And for those that are already abroad, please, you can still get this policy. It is a cell phone boarded policy through the systems that we have. There will be a link. Somebody will just fill a form of maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. They pay their premiums by mobile money and they will be covered. So you don't only have to buy the product when you're here, even wherever you are.
Riding on such cases, sector players now want government to make it mandatory for all Ugandans seeking work abroad to sign up for life assurance before departure.
That every Ugandan who goes outside to work really purchases or presents the migrant workers insurance scheme or certificate to see that they are protected, and that when the worst happens, we don't see Ugandans or families going to TVs, to radios, to parliament crying to bring back their loved ones, or to even try to buy them tickets to come back whenever loss happens.
Because problems befall Ugandans abroad, and we hear of them on the floor of parliament with their families crying, with their families in anguish because they cannot meet their people. Let the government take an interest, and our cry and plea is that it should be made almost mandatory.
Regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, the Uganda Migrant Workers Insurance Scheme is open to Ugandans aged 18 to 70 traveling abroad through licensed recruitment agencies, as well as those already deployed. The scheme covers medical emergencies, disability, death and repatriation, while benefits include 30 million shillings for death, 15 million shillings for repatriation costs, and 5 million shillings towards children's education. It also covers ticket for stranded workers or premature contract termination. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ukamotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulini zitekako. Teka kagulini. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Welcome back, and now in the world of business, rice farmers at the Olweng irrigation scheme in Lira district are eagerly counting down to their first harvest after adopting new farming technologies introduced through the Korean Partnerships for Innovation and Agriculture. In their first season, the results are already promising.
For years, farmers at Olweni irrigation scheme struggled with local rice seed varieties that produced poor yields despite the time and money invested in farming.
Sometimes I can only get like 5 bags.
I got only 3 bags in an acre.
The Korean Partnerships for Innovation in Agriculture partnered with the National Agriculture Research Organization to support the farmers with improved seed varieties, modern farming technologies, and other agricultural inputs.
The rice that we distribute to our farmers
is the best quality rice, very aromatic. So on the market, it fetches a very good price.
The initiative began with an agreement between Kopia and Itek Okile Rice Growers Cooperative Society, who provided land for seed multiplication.
We produce foundation seed, 2 aromatic variety of foundation seed. And with the foundation seed, we will provide the local farmers.
We have always been longing to welcome anybody who is able to introduce and give us seeds which are of high yielding quality.
The farmers were then trained by Kopia in modern rice farming technologies and practices.
The methods they have taught us of planting, planting, it is going to make things very easy. For example, weeding, harvesting and all that is going to make things very easy.
So farmers are coping up very early. Yeah, they are good learners and they are eager to learn more of these new technologies, and we hope they will get success.
Following the training, the farmers received agricultural inputs to support them throughout the production cycle.
We prepared and donate 5 tons of aromatic foundation seed and 11 tons fertilizers.
Kopia has really done a marvelous job for us. First of all, they're bringing us a quality type of rice. And planting it, we shall harvest a lot of things from it.
Before planting, the farmers visited the Doho irrigation scheme in Butalija district for benchmarking, where they gained practical lessons from other rice farmers.
We have learned many things from Doho, and up to now, we have brought that thing from Doho here in Lira.
We saw how the water management, the barn, how farmers were transplanting everything.
Upon returning to Lira district, the farmers began applying the new technologies, and they say the results are already showing. From land preparation and nursery bed management to rice transplanting and water management, the long-awaited fruits of hard work, sweat and commitment are finally emerging.
For me as an individual, I'm expecting a minimum of 60 bags of rice in this harvest in September.
This year I think I will get like 20 bags, and it will be good, help me to pay the school fees.
As the rice ripens in the fields, farmers are now looking forward to their first harvest and the promise of a new chapter in rice production. The farmers are also being evaluated on how well they've implemented the new farming technologies introduced under the program.
They have really performed extremely well. We never expected this, but they have achieved what we expected and even have gone beyond.
The best performing farmer is expected to receive a prize in a competition aimed at encouraging farmers to adopt better production practices. The competition is also expected to improve the quality of rice as farmers strive to achieve higher standards and better yields.
Government has commissioned 21 locally manufactured Kira electric buses in Kira municipality, with the Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Misa Kabanda, describing the development as a major step towards modernizing Uganda's public transport system. The electric buses have been introduced to provide cleaner, affordable and reliable mobility while reducing emissions, easing urban congestion and supporting local manufacturing.
Our cities are growing, our population is increasing, and the demand for mobility is expanding. We must therefore build a transport system that is not only capable of moving people, but one that supports economic activity, protects the environment, and improves the quality of life in our citizens. This is where today's partnership becomes particularly important. General Motors Corporation represents Uganda's ambition to build a strong domestic automotive industry and demonstrates that we can manufacture modern, high quality and environmentally responsible vehicles here at home. I encourage all of us to remain focused on the passenger. The success of e-bus express will ultimately be measured by whether Uganda's express experience safe, reliable, affordable, accessible, convenient and sustainable transport.
But what is special about this? 1,
scheduled transport, affordable transport. But later on, we are bringing this power of you controlling your expenses, where you're the luckiest. We activate the EOS Express transport card. In a world that is looking at smart energy, climate issues, we need to think forward. We need to think about the future. We need to think about the safety of this world by reducing emissions and consequently bringing in electric buses.
Uganda, are you ready to take your business to the world? This September, the Gateway to International Markets opens in Istanbul, Turkey. From the 15th to the 19th of September 2026, join AFEX 2026 Africa Business Forum and Expo, bringing together Africa and global markets in one dynamic business platform. Meet international buyers, investors, manufacturers, distributors, traders, and business leaders alongside the Global Franchise and Distributorship Expo. Whether you are in textiles, agro-processing, tourism, logistics, ICT, manufacturing, education, mining, FMCG, healthcare, construction, or automotives, AFEX 2026 gives you the opportunity to connect, exhibit, invest, and expand. Ugandan exhibitors and business visitors, this is your opportunity to showcase your products, discover new markets, build international partnerships, and take your business beyond borders. And when you're ready to make the journey, travel with Gotavet Tours and Travel, your trusted travel partner for AFEX 2026. Register today through a call or WhatsApp on 0782 556 078 or 0701 556 078. Visit Gotavet Tours and Travel at Plot 3 Parliament Avenue, Rajak Chambers, Wing A, First Floor, Suite F1, 026. AFEX 2026 Istanbul, where Africa meets the world.
ABSA Uganda has committed 700 million shillings to initiatives aimed at helping more girls stay in school and complete their education. The funds were raised through the ABSA Cape 37 Hash Run, which brought together about 8,000 participants. Details in this report.
The focus is now shifting from fundraising to measuring the actual impact of the money on girls' lives. The bank says it wants to see more girls returning to school, remaining in class and getting better opportunities to complete their education.
Or should not be how was the money spent, but rather what has changed. Are there more girls in schools? Are they staying there? Do they have a better chance for completing their education and having a better life? Those are the questions we should be asking. To our implementing partners who are here, thank you for the work you're already doing. We look forward to working alongside you and importantly, meeting some of the girls whose lives sit behind the numbers. So that's going to be my challenge to you, Billy. I went to Karamoja. I want to see other people to go to all the other places, whether it is Kitgum or Ochaninga or the different places. I may not be able to go to all the places, but at least let's have someone other than Pamela.
Among the beneficiaries is Amref Health Africa, which is using the support to provide reusable sanitary kits, water facilities and menstrual hygiene education in schools and communities.
As we know, empowering these young ladies is one of those key initiatives in the fight against HIV. So as Baylor, we thank you and we hope to continue this partnership.
New partners including Ride Africa and Plan International have also received funding to expand programs supporting girls' education.
Better. You have made us think in a manner that is not conventional because this money is hard-earned money. You've talked about partners that stood with you. Those are bottom lines of businesses. And bottom lines matter to shareholders. You don't get shareholder money and you just give it away and you don't deliver value for the shareholder. Now speaking from the private sector, I'm not from the private sector.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Do have yourselves a lovely night, and also do continue to pray for the strengthening of the family of the late Omukama. Otherwise, have yourselves a lovely night, and see you tomorrow.